Why is this important for contractors and like home improvement?
Well, there's a couple of things in there. It currently, and I just did a video on this as far as the map packs and things like that with Google Business Profile and stuff like that, because Vision AI is using these images to determine who you are. It's very important in how you do things. So say like within the map pack, usually you would do a search and then the little 3 or 4 listings would show up by the map and you'd be there. Well, now with Vision AI, whether you show up there directly relates to some of the images that you have in your Google Business Profile or on your website, because those are what Google will be using to determine if you really have those capabilities, to what level you have them versus your competition. All of these things are factored in now. So if you have a Google Business Profile and you have images on there, but there's no pictures of like employees, there are all these glamorized, people love to have these pretty pictures and things in there. Well, that's for people. That's not really for Google or for AI. They could care less how pretty it looks. They want to have those signals that show that you're really, like if you're a flooring specialist, then they want to see that you are doing flooring jobs and in areas that you have within your service area. So if there's a street sign in the background or a community name, uniform that your employee has on in the picture, the truck wraps, things like that. Those are all factored in now to tell Google, hey, this is a legit business in this area because we see the evidence of it.
Interesting. So you kind of went into this, but let's go further into it. Like, what are the best types of photos? Because like we tend to use stock photos, like these easy photos, or like what are the best types of photos and what are maybe the worst photos to use?
Yeah, well, I will always say images are better than no images first and foremost. So if you only have stock photos, use those until you get some real photos. But Google is looking for real photos. They have a very good form that can flush out AI generated images or stock images, because Google likes, as I said before, Google likes data. So it's looking for images that can give it information. Everybody likes the clean cut, the finished, pretty pictures that are there. But Google wants to know what's behind the scenes. Whenever we do stuff, I always tell our clients to have before and after photos. The before pictures are very important. But I also try to tell them, look, if you can get some pictures in between, I know it's kind of hard, but if you can get some pictures in between, that helps you too. Why? Because Google, when you post those pictures, Google looks at those types of things. The before picture gives them the information of where it was, some little things that says, this is where it is, this is where it finished. But the middle gives you the ability to give it some information. It picks up on the tools that it saw that you were using. By the type of tools that you use, it can determine the type of business or services that you provide, products that you're using. If you are shooting pictures and it shows certain products or shower heads or the specific bathtub or whatever, all those things are factored in. And Google uses all of that to say, hey, this is this type of service. Not only that, but what level, I guess, tier or level of skill you have. As far as like, if you're a roofer and you're only putting pictures of like a flat roof out or very simplistic looks or kits that were put together to do things, then it doesn't grade you as high as someone who may do like hip roofs that more dynamic and have more features to it. It's a little more difficult to do and things like that. So again, it's analyzing all this information to identify you. So if you're used to doing things a certain way, now is the time to reevaluate that and say, all right, what do I need to be doing? What else do I need to do? Because one of the things that's asked is, all right, well, how does this help me? I have a competitor and they have tons of reviews and I don't, and they're all 5-star and I'm a 4.7 or whatever. Well, this is now a place where you can still gain ground on that competitor, because if that competitor is posting images and those images are just specific certain things, you can identify gaps in the things that they're missing. So if competitor is into bathtubs and they do the one-day bath installs and they do just the pop-in shower and tub units and they have tons of picture of that, well, they're not showing that they do tile work or that they do stone or that they do all these other things. So you can then start to put in pictures that fill those gaps, so that when people do searches and they're looking for those things, although they have a 5-star rating, they don't feature the elements that you do. So now you become that person that does the custom bathroom or the specialty bathrooms or, tile work and not just wet work. And it gives you more elements. So in this environment, reviews are good and they're important to have, but they're not the only determining factor, because Google is using multiple elements to now, again, identify you.